Hi everyone, welcome back to our Scan and Cut class. It's Kris and Jacki from My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop. And in today's lesson, we're going to talk to you about how do you create a cut file from a PES design for your embroidery machine.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is.
Yes.
And there's two different ways of doing it. In this lesson, we're going to talk to those of you who are current brother and baby lock owners. And this technique is going to work for most machines midline on up. I'll show you exactly on the screen where to go to find out if your machine can do this. And then in our next video, Jacki is going to walk you step by step for those of you who do not own a brother or baby lock machine, but would still like to create your own cut files. All right, so you ready to do this, Jacki?
Yes, I am so ready.
All right, let's first show them what we're going to be, what design we're going to be using for today, because this is a darling applique design, and it's basically 3 different cut files that we're going to create. And Jacki, before we get started at the machine, why don't you walk us through the anatomy of an applique design at the embroidery machine? What happens first, second, and next?
First, second. Okay, so when we have an applique design, it will first stitch out a placement line. Okay, then we will put our fabric down. Then it will tack it down. Then we have to cut it out with scissors. And then after that, then it will do the satin stitch on top.
Yeah.
So it will probably, on most designs, it will do all the applique first, and then you'll do your satin, or however it's finished, very last.
Yeah, on this particular design, we actually added a 4th step in there, which is the top stitch.
Which is this cute little top stitch.
Yeah.
So it just adds a cute little element to it, which makes it so cute.
It really does. So we're going to head over to the machine right now. What I have done is I've placed this particular PES file on a USB stick. You can do the same wirelessly if you have my connection, but for today we're going to just do it on the USB stick, and I'm going to hit embroidery, and the USB file is what I need to pull up, and I see so many cute designs, but this is the one I want to use, Petal Pop 1. All right, there we go. And I will hit set. Okay, so right here you see all of the different thread changes, right? So the first one being that this is the placement line. Then we have the tack-down stitch. Then we have the satin stitch. So, or placement line, tack-down, placement line, tack-down. It depends on, how the person who digitized it did it. But with all your applique designs, you have instructions.
Yes.
That tell you exactly which ones are which, right?
Yes.
So let's go through this, and again, these are the color stops. And before I hit embroidery, I want to go to edit. So from the edit button, we have all these different icons right here. And you're going to choose the one that has the little thread spool with the colors.
Yes.
Most of us are familiar with that one. And again, here we see the placement, the tack down, the placement, the tack down, and so forth. You're also going to see up in the screen above what is going to stitch out there. So what's going to stitch out on this one?
Right now it's the stem, and it's not an applique design.
It's not.
So it's just thread.
It's just thread. So we don't need to create a cut file for this. So let's take a look down here, and on your machine, you might have different thread brands that come across. Floriani, Iris, Pacesetter Pro, all kinds of different Madeira. I want to go to embroidery, all right? Embroidery is that name that you're looking for. Now, when I scroll through this, if I go to the very bottom, look what shows up. There's these 3 little buttons, and they're magical.
Yes, they are. I love it.
They are magical.
Yes.
The one that we're going to choose today is the scissors. And I touch the scissors whenever I want that thread color to be a cut file.
Oh, wow.
So am I going to touch the scissors on the stem?
No.
Exactly. Good answer, Jacki.
Yes,
all right.
no.
So you can see here that the leaves are just an outline.
Right.
There's no satin stitch on there. It's simply an outline. That's the one that I want my cut file to be. All right. So in order to designate that as a cut file, I'm going to select the scissor button right there. And if you take a look at your screen, you're going to notice that the scissors come up across where that thread spool is.
Isn't
Isn't that
so
something?
cool. I love that.
So now I know I've got a cut file there. All right, let's keep going through the design. So I've already done the leaves. I press on the next one. Oh, it's leaves again, but I don't need it, right?
No, because we only need one.
Exactly.
Right?
What does this one represent?
That one is the tack down.
Exactly.
So we don't need that.
We don't need it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Ah, we're now seeing the petals, and this is our placement line. So this is what we want as a cut file, right?
Yes, we push the scissors.
Yes, I love it. So let's go ahead and push the scissors. And now you can see on the screen here that that is designated as a cut file with the scissors. All right, let's keep going. The next one is also petals, so we don't need that. Okay, finally I have my flower center, and that again is a cut file that I want. So I'm going to designate that by making that a cut file. Okay, let's continue on and see if there's anything else I need. I don't believe so. That's a satin stitch, and that's your top stitch. Yeah, all the rest. We've got our 3 files, right?
Yes.
So from that point, I'm just going to hit OK. And now I go and place it into memory.
Okay.
That is it.
That's
Memory
it?
is going to save it. I can save it on my USB stick if I want to, so I can take it to my ScanNCut. I could transfer it wirelessly. You see right here, there's a picture of the ScanNCut machine. If I had my machine hooked up wirelessly with this machine, all I would have to do is tap that. It would send those cut files over, and I have now my 3 cut files for my applique.
That is really cool.
Isn't that great?
I love that so much. That's so exciting.
That's it, guys. That's all there is to it. So have some fun with this. And of course, if you have any questions, let us know.
Yes.
You know, we're always happy to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, Jackie, what do we want them to do?
We want you to do some homework.
Yes.
So
cut your files.
Yes, use your machine and designate those as cut files. We'd love to see all of your many creations.
Yeah, and we'd love to see your pictures. So make sure and post them on our Friends of My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop Facebook page. And be sure to use the hashtags My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop and
ScanNCut MGQS.
That's right. All right, friends. Have a great rest of your day. Have fun creating. Can't wait to see what you do. See you soon.
Bye-bye.